Didn't he?
Do.
Ray. Egon. I'm supposed to hold it, Mike. God.
Jeez. Look at your harmonies.
Okay. So, this is We Are Nerds, We Are Many, the third podcast of the Talking Nerds. I'm Schwander.
It's Nick.
I'm Kyle.
Becca was supposed to be here, but there was a miscommunication, and she's not here. Today, we are talking about video game adaptations. This is Nick's idea, so let Nick start.
So, actually, this idea did not come from me. It came from a friend of mine by the name of Rob. And I feel really bad admitting this, especially on the internet, because I know Rob's going to listen to this. I don't know how to pronounce your last name. I never have, and I never will.
Well, we'll just say to protect his identity.
Yes, exactly. It's like Fargo.
He'll be on here eventually. He can pronounce it for us.
Yep. It's not even that difficult. But anyways, he brought this up to me, and I really like the idea, so I brought it to these gentlemen's attention. But the idea of just video games based on other mediums, so books and more tragically movies and television shows, but then also the vice versa. So we're going to talk about the ones who did it correctly, the majority that did them absolutely horrible. So that'll be fun.
So I think we should start back in the 1980s with the atrocity that is the E.T. video game, the first licensed video game ever made.
And you have that in your house.
I do.
I don't believe I shared this on the podcast. Did I?
But it was in the first podcast.
It wasn't
not
the first
released.
one. Okay, so yeah, listen to the first one again. I too have had terrible brushes with
No.
E.T.
It's on the podcast we're not releasing.
The one that was
that's right.
banished to the dungeon.
That's right. Okay, well then I can talk about it.
You can.
I went through a really, really bad streak of luck. Just things were not going my way. And one day I came home to discover a copy of E.T. on the Atari 2600 just chilling in my apartment.
And that's when you know you've hit the bottom.
I know, really. It was this somber moment of like, oh my God, what is happening?
You've stepped into the seventh circle of hell.
Yeah, I confronted...
No, it's the hidden eighth circle.
Yeah.
I just don't want to tell you.
You have to glitch through the
Treachery,
wall.
E.T.
It's like 6.5.
The rumor is that the majority of the cartridges that are still in existence are buried in a landfill in Nevada.
I think so,
I thought it was New Mexico.
Or it is New Mexico. Though something, I guess, like a group got the county or whatever the supposed dig site is located at. They got the okay to
dig it out. Yeah.
Did it happen?
I don't know if it's happened yet.
I don't think so.
And also, do you guys know who the Angry Video Game Nerd is?
Of course.
That is actually the subject of his movie that will eventually be released.
Really?
Yeah, like they got to film at the dig site. It's great.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's so great. But I hope it's like a scene in like Indiana Jones and like they unearth it and like all these like demons and Nazis' faces melting.
The excavation starts this week.
Oh my God, this is a big deal, guys. We should try to get to New Mexico right now. Screw finals and stuff.
There's no classes Thursday. I think
That's
if we
true.
that's our activity.
Well, E.T. was the first licensed video game. It was licensed off the movie E.T. If you haven't seen it, shame on you. It is a piece of pop culture that is beloved to me and many others. But it was an atrocity of a game because the game was broken. There was no way to beat it.
Ain't it really? Like, it had nothing to do with E.T.
No, nothing at all.
I don't remember E.T. floating that much just because of his head.
No.
Nope.
Not even remotely.
And there's more than enough online footage to back up this claim.
Yeah.
I literally tried playing the game for about 6 days, and I couldn't get past 20 minutes in.
Yeah, I was going to say, like,
Did you look up a game fact for it?
It was pre having internet for me. It was in my early teen years. We were a little poor, and I went to a church garage sale, actually, and the pastor of the church, who was a friend of mine, was selling his Atari, and it had like 30 games, and one of them was E.T.
God.
Pick it up and like heavy organ music starts playing.
I didn't know about it at the time because I never heard of the E.T. game when I was 13 or 14 years old. And I tried playing, like, what is this? Then I went to the library and used their internet and said, oh, you can't beat this game.
Honestly, that's like learning about the Holocaust, in my opinion. Maybe
Wow.
that was a bit of a stretch.
Wow.
Maybe that was a bit of a stretch.
What's that? You played E.T., now you felt the pain of an entire race of people.
Yep.
Or religion, my bad.
Okay. Flashing forward a little bit, we had in the early 90s, video games were starting to like really gain popularity, and Nintendo thought it'd be a good idea to make a movie out of their game.
It's so bad. bad.
Not the wizard.
No, that's just an advertisement for
I know.
Nintendo.
I
Super
love
Mario
that.
3.
I love that movie.
I love quoting it and just miming putting on a Power Glove.
Yeah, that's great.
It's actually a pretty good movie, and there, if you look around the internet, California is a line you see all over the place.
Yeah.
And it had Fred Savage, the older brother of the kid who played Corey in
Boy Meets World.
Boy Meets World, who played Kevin in Wonder Years.
6 degrees of Fred Savage.
Okay, but we're not talking about that. I'm not talking about that game. The movie I was talking about was the Mario Brothers movie.
And I'm heading for the door now.
Awesome. John Leguizamo. I love him.
Can we
Bob
unfortunately say that movie is the reason why John Leguizamo has a career today?
It is.
Kinda.
It is.
Wait, well, sort of. Well, what is... Oh, no, he was in Kick-Ass 2. And then, like, Moulin Rouge. He was in Spawn.
Yeah,
I saw him in Spawn. That's when I first saw him. I'm like,
clown guy.
this is awesome, kind of.
But Mario Brothers is the reason we don't have Nintendo-based films anymore.
Yup.
Because that was an utter atrocity that deserves not to see the light of day that I own because I got it at Walmart for $3.
Good.
Just watch the Mario Brothers Super Show. Much better.
Oh my god,
that was awesome.
So great.
That was actually really good, but after that, we then got Mortal Kombat, which holds a special place.
The Mortal Kombat movie is actually not awful.
No,
Van Damme.
I'm not saying it's bad.
No, that's Street Fighter the movie.
Oh yeah, what is wrong?
That
with
is
me?
bad.
I'm sorry, I was thinking
that's bad, but in the
That's
good
terrible.
way.
Yeah.
But in the good way.
No,
Sorry.
Mortal Kombat, the first one, holds a special place in my heart.
Oh, yeah, that wasn't too bad. The
No,
second one was terrible.
As a 9-year-old kid, they're fantastic.
Yeah, when I was like 10, it was like, this is the coolest thing ever.
And then recently, they spawned Mortal Kombat Legacy.
I've actually seen that. It's pretty good.
Cool.
I have it on Blu-ray. They sell it on Blu-ray.
Yeah,
at
it's
Walmart.
great. It's actually a really solid series. It's not bad.
They want to turn it into a full-fledged film.
Oh, cool.
I've heard about that.
I would be okay with that.
And actually, strangely enough, the first director they had in line for it was the guy that did the Glee movie.
Really?
He did the first season.
Oh, that's right. Oh,
Badass.
Wow.
Season 2, it's on
Can
Machinima.
can I just have Jax breaking Kano's back while singing like a song?
If you haven't watched it, go watch it. It's on Machinima. Season 2 is out, and that was utterly fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Kano's in a wheelchair.
He became Professor X. Okay, now going back to the 90s, we had a few other movies that were returning to games on the Super Nintendo. They were coming out every other week. Star
God,
Wars.
there's so many. There was a million Star Wars ones. Texas Chainsaw Massacre was terrible.
Oh, God.
All the Halloween games.
All the I think there's a couple of Friday the 13th games.
No, just Friday the 13th on NES. They only needed one game to screw it up. They only needed one game.
I remember the end boss of Freddy just being this like giant disembodied head with these like weird tentacle things.
Yeah. Freddy trademark is coming. Because it would still have the trademark.
And then there's one of Kyle's favorite games, Shaq Fu.
That's not my favorite.
Shaq Fu.
I love the concept of Shaq.
Did you hear about the new one?
Yeah,
He's the one who told me.
Yeah.
Good.
That was, yeah.
Did you donate money to it yet?
I'm just gonna...
There's no shame. There is no shame in that. He's hiding under the table right now.
He's taking the turtle position. He's like a hurricane's coming.
Yep.
Yeah.
Under the desk. Some good acoustics.
Yeah, okay.
Nice. All right.
Yeah, that was. Then there was the Michael Jackson game.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, honestly, Moonwalker wasn't that bad.
The arcade
but
version of Moonwalker was pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, but Moonwalker, the concept behind Moonwalker, what was it?
I don't know.
You're Michael
Save
Jackson
the
running
kids.
around saving kids.
Yeah, hey. He was just...
He also turns into a robot.
Of course. There's a difference between a act... Okay, that's inappropriate. Forget it.
I can't believe that much.
This is a kid's show.
Yeah, children and shit.
I'm kidding.
The 90s were rife with video games that were from movies or comic books.
There's a string of good Disney ones. The
Yes.
Aladdin game on Sega Genesis was awesome.
My favorite's still the Hamlet remake of Lion King. I still to this day cannot get past level 2 on the Sega Genesis Lion King game.
Which was the one where you got to, you're like jumping on the heads of all the giraffes.
That's
and
level
stuff.
1.5. That's the halfway through level 1.
That's right. Yeah, it's probably
Never
about
got
as
past
far as I
level
got
2.
to, yep.
I actually have seen on Facebook their father put the cartridge next to the game console with a post-it. Beat this game, get past level 2, and I'll give you $20.
That's great. That's awesome.
Getting back to Star Wars real quick, the Super Star Wars games on Super
great.
NES, those were my thing when I was younger.
But that was the first golden era of video games for me. And then we get to the PS1 generation.
Oh, Christ.
Where every time a Disney movie came out, they would come out with a game for
Bug's
it.
Life was okay.
Bugs...
Hercules, horrible.
Yeah.
Emperor's New Groove, I didn't mind.
Yeah, that was okay.
Okay, we're looking at these through rose-tinted glasses, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, now there was not just Disney games, the Hulk. The Hulk had a string of horrible games on the
He had like
on the
one good game, and it was in the PS2.
Yeah, and then there was the Spider-Man games on the PS1. And then there
The
was...
one by Neversoft wasn't terrible.
Yeah, I didn't mind those.
I did, however, like seeing Spider-Man in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2.
Yes.
Yup.
Yep.
That was a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
But there was a slew of such horrid games in the late 90s on consoles that were made from movies that it made me kind of lose faith in. I still, to this day, don't like picking up video games that are based on movies.
Oh, yeah. I tell customers not to. I feel like I have to fill them in on that.
Die Hard Trilogy was awful.
Oh, my God.
Die Hard Arcade was great, but it's technically not a Die Hard
Yeah, it
game because
wasn't
it's
even
just
Die Hard.
Dynamite Cop in Japan. It's just like, guys, here's a game called Dynamite Cop. Now we're not going to have that. Hey, what movie's coming out over here? Die Hard. Okay, I'll just name it
It's
Die
kind
Hard.
of similar, yeah. Is he a cop? Yeah, he shoots stuff, right? Cool, we're golden.
Okay, now let's talk about this. We were talking about this right before we did the podcast. Super Mario Brothers 2 in Japan was a completely different game than we got here because they deemed it too hard. So they adapted another game. I forget the name of it.
Doki Doki Panic.
Yep.
Okay, they just took the Mario characters and replaced them with the characters that were there. And through the years, they've taken a few things from the lore of that game and introduced them into the Mario franchise, like Birdo.
Yeah.
And
That's unfortunate.
yeah.
Hey, whatever. Honestly, isn't Birdo one of the first like representations of like a transgender character in a video game?
Yeah.
Like,
First one ever.
Yeah. So hell yeah.
So
Birdo.
to that regard, yeah.
Quality in games. That's what we're talking about.
And now let's get to the PS2 generation.
Spider-Man 2. The game was so awesome.
It was the first and only Spider-Man game that was worth a damn.
Nah, I don't know about that. Web of Shadows was okay. The ones that have bees and knocks, yeah, that they've been churning out lately, they're really not that bad. Like, as an action game, like, it works well, the controls work, they don't really focus on, like, the web swinging, because they can't do that, but they got the combat down, and Neil Patrick Harris does, the voice of, I think, Amazing, one of them in, Shattered Dimensions, so not terrible, but no Spider-Man 2, no one's been able to touch it.
I actually had a friend in high school, the summer Spider-Man 2 came out, he sold every game he had for his GameCube, just to get Spider-Man 2.
Oh, yeah.
And every Spider-Man game that came out after that, he knew he wasn't going to top it, but he went and sold all of his GameCube games to buy it.
There was actually, okay, off topic for like 2 seconds, there was one other Spider-Man game that was really good and like on par with Spider-Man 2, and that was Ultimate Spider-Man on PS2.
Yes.
It was so awesome.
Yes.
Some of the, honestly, even to this date, some of the better cell shading that I've ever seen.
Yeah,
like
it's
great
really
use of
good.
shadow and stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome art style. It played almost identical to Spider-Man 2, except just the story was kind of different. I loved it.
Yeah, it was
Though
really
there
good.
wasn't nearly enough chasing down red balloons for upset children.
We're going to do a Let's Play about that. Nick's going to count how many times you save help little kids get balloons in the games. Because,
And to be honest, I just want an excuse to play Spider-Man 2 again.
Because there's only so much you could do adapting an hour-and-a-half long movie to an 8-hour game.
I think he catches a red balloon once in the movie.
And it was like a throwaway gag.
Do you get to deliver pizzas?
In one of the Spider-Man games, I think you do.
Yeah,
I think,
and
I think it's Ultimate. Maybe?
No,
Maybe
I meant
those
in
two.
Spider-Man 2 because the
I
game.
believe so.
Did
I
you-
know in the handheld game you delivered
Yeah.
pizzas.
I forgot they did a handheld game of that.
Yeah.
The Game Boy Advance was rife with them, too.
Well, it's because the GBA had so many demakes. Like, so did the Wii, and that's, I don't know, that kind of lessened a lot of them. But yeah, no, I definitely, Spider-Man 2, I love that game so freaking hard. OMG. And I use that phrase sparingly.
Kyle stepped out for a second, so it's going to be Nick and I, soothing voices, talking for a moment.
Oh, yeah.
Well, okay, let's continue talking about the PS2 generation. We had Godzilla, Destroy All
Oh,
Monsters.
God, that's right. I forgot about that game.
It was actually pretty good.
It was okay.
For a Godzilla game? Because the last Godzilla game we had before that was in the Godzilla 2000 period.
I had the game based on that for Game Boy Color, and it was so freaking terrible.
You can't see him twitching right now.
Yeah, oh my god! Actually, the Game Boy Color had a lot of terrible ones too. I had a Little Nicky.
Oh my god,
that was so bad.
There was all the Rugrats.
Oh,
titles.
a bunch of Rugrats games.
I did like the Rugrats PS1 title.
Actually, that one was okay.
Because I was probably 11 or 12 when it came out,
Yeah.
so I had
But still, it seems like my general theory on licensed games that I think stands true to today is that if it's based off of a direct release, like there's a movie coming out, so we have to churn out this game.
It's advertisement.
Then it's an advert, and they rush it, and there's no love, and there's no TLC put into this game. But if it's a licensed game where they have the time, and it's not like it's got to be out by the Batman Arkham series,
The Transformers series, the Cybertron.
yeah, the Cybertron ones, like none of the movie ones, but War for Cybertron, Fall for Cybertron, it's because there wasn't that additional pressure put on. It was like, all right, yeah, here's the license, have fun with it, make it cool.
And they could do whatever they want with all the licensed properties, because I believe, I haven't played them, I want to. I played the demo for the first one. But aren't there Dinobots in
two.
In two.
Yep. Hell's yeah, Grimlock. But oh, crap, what was I going to say? Damn.
Nick and I get off topic a lot.
Yeah, we can just cut this. Oh, that's okay. Got it. So I feel that movies and TV shows get the short end of the stick. Do you remember the 24 video game on PS2? It's pretty stupid. And I feel like TV and movies, they're always going to kind of suck. Comic books, though.
Marvel vs. Capcom.
Marvel vs. Capcom. More recently, and the one that has gotten me by the heartstrings the most, The Walking Dead, because it's not based on the TV show. There is a game, Walking Dead Survival Instinct, which is pretty terrible. Like, zombies are
But it
dumb.
was made by Telltale, correct?
No, Survival Instinct is a first-person shooter made by Activision, where you play as Daryl.
Not to give Activision any credit, but they should know how to do a first-person shooter by
You
this
would
point.
think by this point, like, it's all they
do
freaking
one.
do.
They do one every year.
Not even every season. Like, Activision always has one of their subsidiaries making a first-person shooter pretty much at all times.
But they have the highest-selling first-person shooter every year, topping their previous sales every year.
You would think that they could spend a little bit of time to turn this incredibly profitable television show into a good video game.
I'm certain it sold tons of copies.
It did, despite my best efforts. But the one based on Telltale is very much like based in the universe of the comic book, and I feel it gives them a lot more room for character development, introducing new characters, but also I feel that comic books are such a less rushed form of storytelling that it allows them just, I guess, a bigger sense of freedom than you could in a video game where it's like, we gotta jam 2 hours worth of stuff into 8 hours. It's like, we gotta jam 9 hours into 9 hours.
So The Walking Dead was also a episodic game.
It was.
It didn't come out all at once. It came out monthly, I believe, didn't it?
Sorta, kinda. I don't think they had a firm schedule.
No, but it came out almost monthly.
Yeah.
And the basic game is free, the first episode, and then you have to pay for the other ones.
Yeah, they're $5 a pop.
And they're more than worth it.
Oh, absolutely. And like they're surprisingly lengthy. Like the first one takes about maybe an hour. Episode 2 maybe like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then from there it just kind of gets a little bit longer each time. But no, it's fantastic. It's some of the best storytelling, even though like the animation's kind of choppy and like the game itself has the occasional graphical glitch. Just the characters are so well written and so well performed other than one, but whatever.
But this gives way to a whole new thing we could do next generation, where the graphics will be so much better. And it's a storytelling game. This isn't a I'm going to run and shoot you in the face game.
Exactly. And then I think we can finally start taking movies that maybe traditionally couldn't be a video game and making them into a video game. Case in point, I'm a big fan of the book and the movie, The Perks of Being a Wallflower. It got me through high school because I was an awkward little weirdo. But I feel that there's a video game that came out I think it was in 2012.
Gone Home.
Yeah, Gone Home. It's very much in the same spirit. It has the same kind of feel to it, the same sort of uplifting nature to it, but there's no action. It's just pure narrative. And I feel that with games being able to just make things more convincing and these more beautiful, engrossing worlds and stuff, then we can take dramas and like comedies and stuff and turn them into engaging video games for really the first time.
Now, what I want to see, we're all very off topic right now, but what I want to see in the next generation is them taking these wonderful narratives and mixing them with the wonderful gameplay we have in video games today, and making a top-notch game that we haven't seen yet. Because I've seen some fantastic games that have great gameplay and wonderful narrative. The Mass Effect series.
Yeah, that's true. Honestly, well, going back to the whole based off of things, the first time I played Mass Effect, I was like, wow, this is the Star Trek game that I've always wanted. I get to be the captain of this awesome ship, and I have a cool ragtag crew, and I get to sleep with hot alien chicks. Like, this is exactly what I thought being a Star Trek captain would be, and now I get to play it. And such a big
strangely
deal.
enough, I related more to, like, Firefly.
Honestly, yeah. Well, it depends on how you played it.
Okay?
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Okay. Yeah, Mass Effect, it reminded me of Firefly because I felt like more of a Mal character.
Yeah. My second character was based off of Malcolm Shepard. So,
for Mass Effect, I remember the guy saying it's 24 in space.
sort of.
But
The first one, anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was very procedural. But I think what they were going for was a modern-day space opera.
Yeah.
It was like an adaptation of almost Star Wars or Star Trek.
Yeah, and that's what I immediately connected with. And that's why it's frustrating that there hasn't, like, other than a couple of MMOs, like Star Wars has done it. They had Knights of the Old Republic.
Actually, that's the second one. They had Galaxies first, too.
Well, no. I mean, outside of MMOs, like, I want to see more single player based stuff. I mean, like Knights of the Old Republic, not the Old Republic.
Okay. Yeah,
KOTOR versus OTOR.
SWOTOR.
Yeah, even like Jedi Outcast was passable for its
Oh
time.
yeah, totally.
But that was more of a competitive game than we're talking about narrative here.
Oh.
He walked
No,
in late.
Jedi Outcast is pretty story driven.
Oh yeah, totally.
But the majority of people played more of the multiplayer because I remember watching Arena on G4 back.
Oh God, yeah,
back in
that
the
was
day.
the thing.
One of the games they played most was Jedi Outcast.
Oh. Well,
still, it had a really solid plot line and stuff. But I feel I'm really excited for just with the next gen and stuff, and having this increase in graphical fidelity and stuff. That I feel that I hope that eventually we can get the single player Star Wars game that we've wanted.
yeah, weren't they working on a new Star Wars game for next gen?
It was
1313 got canceled.
Yep.
jeez.
You were going to get to play as freaking Boba Fett, more or less.
Why? Why
Yeah.
would you do that?
They canceled it because of the acquisition, I believe.
Yeah, it's because the game was going to be really dark and gritty and
And
like.
then they got acquired by Disney.
Yeah,
and they're
Disney's
we can't
like,
have
nope,
this.
nope.
But on a better note, they are doing a new Battlefront.
Oh, I know.
I'm okay with that.
I would like to see a 1313, and oddly enough, I liked the original Force Unleashed,
The first one was good. Second one wasn't bad. It was just so short.
and the story was a what-if thing.
Yeah.
But the story for the first one added to the lore. I think it's canon, actually.
I think so now.
I believe so. Yeah.
I believe the first one is canon. Because it could just have not happened. It's another what if thing, but I'm pretty sure it is canon according to Disney. They are reevaluating the entire canon for that. Because
That'd be a cool job.
So is it canon that people can lift up entire Star Destroyers? Yeah. Why not?
Totally, sure.
Yeah, sure.
The Force, man. It's cool.
Did Darth Vader really go on a one-man rampage through Kashyyyk? Yeah, why not?
Yeah, totally.
It's Darth Vader.
Yeah, totally. Sure.
Kyle has an affinity for Vader. He's wearing an Expressions of Vader T-shirt today.
It's just a shirt. I don't have an affinity. It's just I have to be wearing a shirt.
You don't like Hayden Christensen?
No, I don't. I really don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Star Wars games in the past decade have been lacking a lot, actually. I haven't seen a really good Star Wars game since the first Battlefront.
Yeah. Well, I guess reaching this out to you guys, other than Spider-Man 2 and...
What about Lego Star Wars?
Yeah, Lego Star Wars.
The Lego... I
They're
like the
fun,
original
but
one.
it's different.
Yeah, it's become very convoluted because they're just snatching up every property they can.
Yeah.
I'm waiting because they just got the rights to Ghostbusters now.
Oh my god, if they make a Lego Ghostbusters game, I will faint. Well, speaking of...
have we talked about
we
the
haven't talked
Ghostbusters
about the
game yet?
Ghostbusters game, which I freaking love.
I love it. It's like
Hence-
Luigi's
okay.
Mansion, but Ghostbusters.
The beginning. If you don't know, go watch Ghostbusters 1 and come back to us. We are all lovers of Ghostbusters here, and sadly, one of the founding members of the Ghostbusters passed away a month ago
I dressed up as Egon Spengler for Halloween, I think, twice.
because he's Egon Spengler and Harold Ramis was awesome. But the Lego, not the Lego one, not yet.
No.
They just got the rights to Lego toys. The game will come later. The Ghostbusters video game came out in 2009, I believe.
9 or
2009.
10.
I'd probably go 2010, maybe.
Really?
Can we fact check that?
Yeah.
We can. We have the internet. But yeah, it was. I haven't played it actually.
Really?
So great. It's a solid third-person shooter at its core, but it's very much Luigi's Mansion in that you're running around scooping up these ghosts and stuff.
And it's surprisingly well written too. Like
09.
Okay.
Well, also because it's the original cast.
Yeah.
Like it's,
And didn't
it's
they?
them.
Oh, didn't Dan Aykroyd write the script for it?
I think so.
He did.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's obviously it's just loaded with fan service.
And I always wanted
But-
to fight alongside Bill Murray.
Yeah,
Who
so-
doesn't want that?
Okay, so this is Nick Mushy getting to know me story time. So when I was a very, very young lad, my mom would my bedtime stories would be what she would tell me stories about me like fighting alongside the Ghostbusters and stuff. So when I got the game and I was like, oh my god, like these were my bedtime stories for the majority of my childhood. This is fantastic.
My mother's a prophet.
Yeah, she knew.
It was essentially the third movie in this trilogy, and there's still rumors of a third film being in the works. But it was. I hear it was a good game.
Yes.
I have yet to play it because, again, time. It's a magical thing that I lack due to full-time school, full-time work, and now this.
Yeah, you just gotta get into that whole fourth dimension stuff. For real, man. Once you stop thinking about time as linear, shit works out better for you. I'm in yesterday right now, too. It's cool.
Your sleep is kind of necessary for me, though.
Whatever. It's overrated.
What other games have we seen in the past decade that are decent adaptations from movies, films, comic books,
Honestly, not
television
many
shows?
other, but how many video games turned into good movies?
One.
Let's talk about some of the failures. Max Payne.
The last 4 Resident Evil movies.
Mark Wabog. 1 and 2, actually, no, 2 pissed me off so much because Nemesis does not have a heart. I got so upset when Nemesis has this moment where he's like, man, Mila Jovovich sure is hot. I'm not going to shoot her with this here chain gun.
It was at that moment that Nemesis had a ethical epiphany.
Yeah, no. Heartless killing machine that mumbles stars, and that's it.
As the big Resident Evil guy, I think the first movie is passable in a very corny sort of way, much like the first game. After that, it's what have you done?
Yeah,
I went and saw the last one in theaters just because.
It's a total waste of time.
Was.
It's just back to the status quo at the end of the movie.
By the way, they just announced they're filming the final one.
Yeah, it's due out by the end of the year.
Oh, God. They're going to film it in a week and a half. Editing will take
All right, guys, what's everybody doing this weekend?
Okay, we got to get her shirtless, and then he does anything he can to get his wife shirtless in every movie.
And the worst offense was in the second movie. You put in Jill Valentine and make her do nothing. It's just here's a main character for the entire series. We're not going to have her do anything except walk around a church and make it look like it's the original.
Did you see the fifth one?
They turned her into Evil Jill or something.
Oh,
Barry's in it.
Oh my god.
Barry and Leon are in it.
Barry.
Yeah.
Didn't they kill off Barry?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Why? Why?
They do it in a really weird, really corny fashion too.
Yeah,
he gets
it's-
shot a bunch of times, and his gun flies up in the air, and he falls down. And as his gun's falling, he sits back up, grabs the gun, and shoots the guy in the head.
That's kind of awesome, but why did you kill off Barry?
Yep.
Ada's in it too.
And I don't know. It's I'm a big Resident Evil fan. I'm not super huge mega diehard. I've played all of them.
You're sitting next to one.
Oh, I know. Honestly, real tangent. Out of all of them, what's your favorite? 3,
I know.
1.
2.
Okay.
You were expecting 4, weren't you?
It was 4 too. I'm weird. I really love 4, but I thought Code Veronica was a lot of fun.
I actually replayed through Code Veronica. I played the HD version, and I'm like,
stuff.
I have no problem with this.
It's a good game.
Besides the whole possible incest thing going on with the main villains, I'm just like, this game's okay, but I think Code Veronica was kind of the end of an era because that was as far as you could put that type of gameplay.
Yeah.
But sorry. Continue.
Anyways.
The Resident Evil series has taken a serious turn. The games. There is
Along with the movies.
No, I'm talking about the game. The game's rumor is there is going to be an announcement for 7 at E3 this year.
We'll see.
Yeah, I've been looking into it. There's been leaked things about motion capture being done, and they have stuff set up. So yeah, I think announcement at E3 is perfectly plausible.
And rumors say they're going to either do a reboot and go back to the horror of everything.
I hope.
Because the survival horror game is now dead. They need to use some kind of revival. They need a Phoenix Down or something.
I know.
Get me a yellow, a red, and a green herb, and we'll do something.
But anyways, back to the topic at hand. What other games turned into okay movies?
If you like porn, you got Lara Croft.
Yeah. And I do like porn, and I do like Angelina Jolie, so I don't remember not liking those movies at all.
They're atrocious.
I haven't watched them, as an adult. Watching them as a hormone-laden teenager is this is the coolest thing. Oh, man, she's diving back in the water again! It was the greatest thing ever.
I just remember that movie as my first time seeing Daniel Craig in a movie.
Oh, yeah, that's
because I'm hey, it's James Bond.
There's rumors that they're going to redo it with the new model.
I hope so.
Because I loved the reboot of Tomb Raider.
Amazing.
Because they made it more realistic.
Yeah.
Well, just a 17-year-old girl getting really, 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 dealt shitty hands.
And she's complete and totally badass.
Yeah. Coolest chick in the world. That is female empowerment.
You could actually, playing the game, it feels like you actually meet this girl. Like she's a real person. So I'm hoping they do that because the original Lara Croft games, they were a little, larger than life. Well, very much larger than life. She's jumping around fighting T-Rexes. Mm-hmm. Whereas in the new game, it is a little supernatural, but she's not, that agile.
Yeah.
She's not a cat lady.
Yeah.
There's rumors they're going to redo that. There's rumors of a Last of Us movie.
No, that's not even a rumor. That's happening.
Confirmed.
That's confirmed?
That's happening. I hope
my immediate answer was why.
My immediate thought was Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instantly, I was like, Josh Brolin, duh. Honestly, I think it's okay. I think it could be a really good, just kind of horror movie. But at its heart, I think if they can maintain the performances and the writing that Naughty Dog brought to the table, I think it'd be freaking great.
The writers from the game are working on.
Oh, they are? Okay. Yes. I'm not concerned at all then.
Now, on top of that, Naughty Dog, another Naughty Dog property up for a movie is the Uncharted series.
Yeah, I'm surprised it hasn't yet.
Because they're wary, because look at what video game movies have become.
Yeah.
They're also working on a Ratchet and Clank movie.
Oh,
that's happening. I've
seen the teaser.
Yeah, Ratchet and Clank, Sly Cooper's getting a movie. Those properties that make sense to me though, because
they're kid based.
They were always borderline Pixar movies, anyways.
Yeah. I actually recently bought the HD collection for Ratchet and Clank.
Good.
Oh yeah,
love it.
So great.
But I bought it at GameStop, which was a mistake because they charged $30 for it used.
Yeah.
Walmart charges $20 for it brand new.
Oof.
I didn't know that until after I bought the game. Not a big deal.
Blast that video game company.
Too far.
Too far.
They're doing that. Let's see. What other movies? The Metal Gear Solid's been in
That's been in limbo forever.
It's
pretty sure I've given up hope.
It'll come out when Half-Life 3 comes out.
Yeah. The end of days.
I think the last rumor I heard about the Metal Gear movie was Viggo Mortensen as Snake.
Yeah, and honestly, what I would like if for some reason a Metal Gear movie was made, I would like to see David Hayter write it because he was the voice of Solid Snake and he wrote the original X-Men movie.
Yeah,
he's got the chops, he can do it. He's more than familiar with the character.
But now, who's Snake in the new one? It's
Kiefer Sutherland.
Kiefer Sutherland. Okay.
Yeah. He does an okay job.
I haven't played Ground Zeroes yet.
I got a buddy who's pretty much to what I am to Resident Evil as to what he is with Metal Gear. He says he does the job well.
Well, I'm like that with Pokemon.
Yeah.
Pokemon.
But yeah, I watched him play through Ground Zeroes, and
so you watched a 5-hour-long movie and 20 minutes of gameplay.
No, that's Metal Gear Solid 4. No, Ground Zeroes is a lot better about it.
Yeah, Ground Zeroes is a lot less with the cutscenes actually. You just kind of get a longer cutscene in the beginning and just one at the end, and then it's just gameplay.
I guess they did make a Metal Gear Solid movie.
So
then.
to clarify,
Metal Gear Solid is a movie.
So to clarify, 20 minutes of cutscenes, 20 minutes of gameplay.
Yeah, somebody beat it in 3 minutes and I think 40 seconds.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, Kojima.
But this is still kind of like a prequel.
Yeah.
Because we're getting the Phantom Pain.
Yeah. Eventually.
I haven't
Someday.
been following Metal Gear Solid much since 3.
I love everything Hideo Kojima does because he's such a troll. But
And the funny thing is he keeps saying, I would like to make something else, please. Because it's like, hey, where's Zone of the Enders 3? And he's just like, I promise I'm going to make it. It's just, I'm kind of busy right now.
can't wait. Zone of the Enders was the first PS2 game I owned.
Another thing that I kind of joked around with my friend the other day because I came across an internet article about it is if Konami really wanted to get back on the map with survival horror, all they need to do is snap their fingers and just be like, Hideo, you're making the next Silent Hill game.
Oh my god. Well, didn't they talk about that for a while?
Yeah,
because Hideo Kojima was like, I want to do it.
Because he saw The Last of Us and he's like, this is awesome. I want to do something like this.
Yeah.
If only my company had a survival horror game in which I could do this.
But Silent Hill's damn near dead at this point, isn't it? It's like dead in the water.
Yeah.
And
now it comes full circle. The Silent Hill movie, the first one, not terrible.
I don't hate it. It's just Sean Bean doing nothing for 2 hours.
Yeah.
But the Silent Hill series kind of dropped off the face of the planet in the last generation.
Oh yeah, I love
along with the survival horror
Yeah,
genre.
well, I really liked 1. And actually, it's the same thing for all the series. So
1, whether you like it or not, is kind of necessary.
yeah, I love 2.
2 is, oh god, I'm friends with the voice actor for James on Facebook.
That's so cool.
He is awesome. He's like a CEO of a company.
Oh wow,
It's nuts. He started he has like a college of medicine that teaches medicine. The guy's insane. He doesn't post a lot, but when he does, it's usually just stuff he's doing with his company. But every now and then he'll do something funny. Like he has a YouTube page, and there's some funny stuff on there. He's really good with the fans. So
that's cool. I thought. So really quick on the survival horror thing. So 1, 2, and 3 really good, and then they got into
and then we got Silent Hill 4: The Room, not to be confused with the movie The Room.
I liked Silent Hill 4: The Room.
I like the idea.
It was really cool. It wasn't originally a Silent Hill game though, so that's why it doesn't fit right in.
I like the idea of Silent Hill 4. I feel like this game would have been good if it wasn't called Silent Hill, but unfortunately they wanted the mass appeal, so it's like Silent Hill.
Well, that's sort of what happened with the Resident Evil series lately.
Yeah,
from 4 was originally not supposed to be anything with zombies.
Yeah, it's the Michael Bayization of the survival horror series.
But the one time it works to its advantage.
Yeah.
And then it goes. Then after 4, it went solid action. Like I loved 5. Don't get me wrong. 5,
but it's not a good Resident
5
Evil.
is good with a friend.
Yeah,
and
Sheva's
nothing else.
Stupid.
I'm going to shoot you in the back of the head and waste all my ammo.
Sheva, here, you.
But when the director says, "Yeah, my primary inspiration for Resident Evil 5 was Black Hawk Down," I'm like, no.
6 didn't feel right. And
Okay. Let's talk about 6. When I met Kyle, the first thing because I mentioned I like video games, the first thing we talked about was Resident Evil, and he was super psyched. When I say super, I mean like he was like counting down days until it came out.
And then it came out.
And I told
I'm just like, no.
Why did you do this to me?
I read the first review that came out for it, and I told Kyle, I was like, no, that can't be. That can't be right.
And then I just come back the next week. I'm like, oh god, what have I done?
I've made a huge.
It was an atrocity of a game. I bought it used for I think $15, and I'm
worth that.
No, it was. When you toss down Raccoon City, make sure you throw it at a copy of 6, please.
Yep. Operation Raccoon City. We won't even speak of that. But no, it happened to Dead Space. Because I love 1 and 2.
Yes.
It felt like Resident Evil 4 in space, which is what I freaking wanted.
If Dead Space 1 was Resident Evil, if it had stuck to its like survival horror roots, Dead Space 2 was just let's make Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, pretty much. And I thought it had it made me think of, even though like it was super violent and crazy in your face at times, the sense of isolation was like harkens so strongly from Alien.
Oh yeah.
Which I loved.
Colonial Marines?
Okay. Oh, actually, no. Back on topic. Alien Isolation is going to be fantastic.
It better be.
I have nothing but the.
Who's making it?
Honestly, I don't remember off the top of my head. You should look it up.
They make MMOs.
I'm not concerned about it. I have nothing. They art design.
They make good MMOs.
Yeah, from an art design, it's great. Everything's CRV or CTR or whatever, that old timey display.
CRTV.
That's it. Yeah. Instead of LCD. So it feels like the old movie, but it's just you.
It's being published by Sega.
Yeah, and it's just you, your Ripley's daughter, I think it is, Amanda. Yeah. And it's just you and an alien on the ship, and that's it. And, like, it looks terrifying. The only the only thing you have really is your motion detector, so you can see in a two-dimensional plane where the alien kind of might be. I am so excited to see a game that, is an actual survival horror game, because Outlast was, and that was awesome. But whatever.
2/3 of Outlast was good.
I never beat it, so maybe that's why I was like, yeah, Outlast. But with that kind of feel, but also like being really truthful and like to the source material, like it looks and from so far it feels like Ripley Scott doing Alien, and I think that is fantastic, and I want more of that out of movie games. Damn it.
Okay, let's talk about the from movie to game, the rush.
Yeah.
Okay, we get a game. Whenever a movie comes out, if it's an action-based movie,
Iron Man 2, Captain America, Thor, all of them I think published by Sega. Shame on you.
Let's not talk about Sega.
Yeah.
Still a sore subject. Dreamcast 2 should happen.
Never.
We have movies coming out. The summer's coming for one. So this summer we're gonna see Guardians of the Galaxy. We're gonna see.
That's the thing, though. I haven't heard anything about, at least from Marvel. I don't think they're doing that. Like, there hasn't been an Avengers game. There isn't a They did a Captain America game, and honestly, it wasn't terrible.
It's just Captain America: Arkham Asylum.
Kinda, which that's okay.
Well, okay. What was the movie in production prior to the Disney acquisition?
Wait, what?
Was the Captain America movie in production prior to the acquisition?
Captain America movie was put out way before Disney's acquisition.
Yeah, the Captain America game was based off the first movie.
That's what I mean.
Oh yeah, way before.
So
Disney got
it
involved.
could be Disney stopping it at this point.
It could be, which good for them if that's the case.
Same way Disney put the lid on Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
One of the greatest fighting games of all time.
The whole series was really nice.
I remember going to arcades and pumping quarters and into enemies.
I like them. I just suck at them. I'm
I do
not
too.
good at 2D fighters.
I'm not good at fighters, period.
I was really good at Soul Calibur.
I'm good at them.
It's one of Kyle's favorite game types. Well, we should probably start packing up now.
Gotcha.
Well, this was wonderful. We will come back next week. We'll be talking about comic books next time.
Awesome.
We're going to have Cody Allen and Jay Pretty on next week.
Oh, cool. Nice.
I had to talk to them still, but we're having them on.
Yep. Whether they like it or not, this is happening.
They won't complain. Trust me. Join us next week. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Subscribe down below. If you're on SoundCloud, go to the YouTube. Subscribe to us anyway. I'm Schwander.
It's Nick.
Kyle.
Have a nice day.
Bye.